Yep, we live. I'm itching first though. Yeah.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Me and Rebecca and a bunch of other friends. We're in the Talladega National Forest tonight, and having a lot of people going to the Alabama Bigfoot conference tomorrow in Anniston, and glad to have everybody in here tonight. So,
Somebody want to pick me a plant?
there's plenty of plantain right down there somewhere.
Yeah, there is. There's lots of plantain over that way. There's yarrow sprinkled in here somewhere too.
Yeah. So, hey Val, Southwest PA. Michael Haywood. Blackie, he's coming this way walking.
Oh, is he walking up here? Mr. John.
See.
Larry. Everybody say hey to Larry.
There's Spencer.
Dog.
Dog missed you, hates you.
Yeah, he done left, hadn't he?
He left, yeah.
Jeffy. Yeah. Billy Shillings.
Hey, Billy.
Dad Brian.
Hey, Crystal. How are you? Good to see everybody.
Sorry, Miss Crystal. Hey, Wendell. Pine Knot Yoder.
Man, we ain't going to rub it in.
No, we're not rubbing it in. All righty. So, we are at Hollins, the Hunters Camp. They had a small gathering here, and she done brought me a bunch of them. Is this poison ivy?
Well, I hope not.
I hope not.
If it get rough.
We got wild violet, verbascum, and grass and pine needles. Oh.
Hey, there's stuff you can make out of pine needles.
Yes, there is. I was fixing to say that.
Pine needle tea.
Verbascum.
Yeah.
That's actually not violet. What is that? I can't remember what its name is. So, yeah, we just picked up plants, guys. Plant of the day. It's a bunch of them. So,
they're live.
Like I say a lot of times, if you want to learn herbalism, look down at your feet. Hey, there is a lot of plants at your feet. I use Google image search, and I don't just look at any website out there to identify the plant. When you are doing an image search, it tells you what website the images are coming from, and you want to pick a valid, very reputable website to identify your plant. Usually if it's got a university name or extension or some sort of school name, then you've got a good, valid website to identify a plant. I don't like the plant ID apps because they're only as good as the people that are putting in the information. But that's not to say they're all wrong, but I had a picture of a wildflower one time, the very first time I used one of the plant ID apps, and it told me it was a cabbage. So that's kind of why I don't use those apps. I use the Google search and reverse image and go from there. So look at your feet, pick a plant, identify it, learn what its uses are. When you're trying your plants out, look for the things in the recommendations that it says to not do. So if you're allergic to daisies and it says something about reacts to people with allergies to daisies, don't do it. But, otherwise, make you a tea out of it. Taste it. See what it does. Go from there. Learn one plant at a time. Start by looking down at your feet where you're sitting. You've got a lot of herbals in your own yard. I don't have a specific plant of the week. I just have plant advice. Sorry, I'm reading comments.
Hey, Mark D.
I don't have a book today. Hey, we just hurriedly got this together. So,
understandable, cats.
Yeah, it's something that you may have a problem believing in. If you don't have experiences yourself,
it's understandable.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that see them and still don't believe it after they see them because they can't get it worked through their mind,
So, yeah. So that's my plant. That's my herb of the week. Make sure you learn what you have, starting with what's at your feet.
Hey, Ray. Hope you're doing better.
All right. We said hey to everybody. Mark D, Miss Ray, Robert Denduven.
Yep.
Get the dirt off the table.
To everybody.
All right, so this is where I'm gonna step out of the camera and let whoever wants to step in this camera get here.
Okay.
So sure whoever comes up first, come on,
Chad.
Come on down.
Come on, talk a minute.
1, 2. It don't matter. Come on and say hey.
Come on, say hello a minute.
Okay.
Come on, Katie.
What?
Come on.
Come on, sit down a minute.
Oh, sit down?
Yeah, sit down a minute.
Hi, everybody.
Y'all know who this is. It's Pat, blue-eyed. So her and Joe's here. Where is Joe?
Oh, I don't know. It's not my turn to watch.
Oh, he done went back to the camper?
Yeah.
So
no, he's around.
So
hi, everybody. It's hot.
Yeah, it's turned out it's summer in Alabama. Humidity went up
Right.
today. So.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding.
And y'all got here Wednesday, right?
Yes, Wednesday. And I win this shirt. It wasn't rigged.
Okay, that's one of Chris Reinhardt's shirts. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Anything special been going on?
No, it's been relatively quiet. I did look at some stuff for Wendell. Wendell had some kind of interesting, like orbs or something there, and that's about it, really. And we're kind of looking into that. Kind of interesting. Oh, Patrick Noble is who you need to talk to.
Yeah, he said he's seen it.
He's seen some, and Wendell, you're right there. What are you sitting there for?
Waiting.
Okay. And anyway, so nice to see everybody. We're all having a great time. Thank you all for having us here.
Do I now, Wendell?
I'm just looking to see if there's anybody else that needs a window before I get home.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, I know. But
you need to get Rebecca's picture. You ain't got it yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm gonna introduce you to Chad.
All right, come on, Chad. We're going. Hey,
Come on,
get
Chad.
on the spotlight
Come on in.
now, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay.
Come on, sit down, man.
Yes, sir.
Chad.
Everybody, it's Chad, and
Hey, everybody.
he has a YouTube channel. Him and Erica. They on Sunday evenings at 5 p.m. Eastern. Right?
Central.
Central.
Yeah, I live in your world, not the
That's right.
future.
Not the future. And he's doing a different type of podcast. A lot about everybody. He's getting into a lot of oddities and conspiracies.
Yeah.
And
Trying to get in just a different, like I still want to do a show on cryptids and stuff like that, but I want to add a little twist to it and, talk about maybe like effects that people have had from, seeing the things they've seen. I'd like to do a farm show, and that's how odd our shows are going to be. But I want to do maybe something on the crops, and if you're noticing things happening in the crop, with the agriculture.
A lot of stuff.
So yeah, it's. I'm just trying to. I want to do things that are interesting to people, that are maybe a little bit more off the wall.
Right.
And
Did you ever go check out the dude I told you, Perma Pastures?
No, I haven't.
You need to go check him out. He's got a podcast and a YouTube.
Okay.
And he's there right outside of Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And he does a lot of permaculture, but he's really hammering on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
They after him a little bit. So
that means you're doing the right thing if they're after you, because you've touched the spot and it's irking them a little bit. So
and there's another guy that's actually down there around Phyllis and them. Down there, he's called Deep South Homestead. He really does some pretty deep stuff. So
we live Middle Tennessee, Upper Middle Tennessee, and we live in a big horse community, cow community, lots of farms. And just talking with some of the local people about, the lack of bees or, crops that are, dying on them. And it just gets interesting to, I try to figure out why, I think I know why, but that's my opinion. So nice to talk to other people and maybe find out, what
it is. And we need to talk about different subjects than just besides cryptid paranormal stuff. We need to go down to other stuff, because not everybody is getting affected by the paranormal cryptid, but we are all getting affected by our food, our weather. It's affecting us all.
Absolutely.
And because not everybody's having Sasquatch experiences or ghost experiences, but every day we're going to a grocery store or trying to raise our own food, and we're we're exposed to something every day.
Well, let's go to the grocery store. We're getting things in our food that they've outlawed in other countries, but it's okay for us to take it if it's a cancer causing. It makes no sense.
Right.
And it's not natural stuff. We need to be putting natural stuff in our body like our ancestors.
That's right.
So, but yeah,
and they say, well, them folks used to not live long. Lord, a lot of them folks lived to be 90, 100
absolutely.
years old.
My prime example, my wife's grandmother turned 100 this year, and you wouldn't know she's 100.
Yeah.
She still moves around fine. She lost a little sight and maybe a little hearing, but still very active mentally, on it. And she talks about the days and the kind of, back in the day when she grew up, what kind of food they ate. And it's everything they tell you was bad back then is actually probably what's good for you, and everything you're eating now is not what's not good for you.
Well, I think late 40s when they really started doing the preservatives and putting in the food. And my dad was born before the Depression, but grew up during the Depression, which they farmed. And he said you could really tell the difference in the food that you grew and what you was buying out of the store.
Oh yeah, well, you can look at that now with meats.
Yeah,
when you buy store-bought meat or something from your local butcher, it's totally different color because of the preservatives and everything. And and I just tell people, think about your body. If you want to put chemicals in your body, that's fine. And I'm not a health eater anyway. I just try to eat natural food.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, tell everybody the name of your channel.
Name of the channel is the Oddcast Podcast, Off the Record. We are usually Sundays, 5:00 Central. We won't have a show this Sunday because we are camping with all our friends here. And hope everybody has a great evening and enjoy the rest of the show. And see you later.
Appreciate it, Chad.
Thank you.
Let's get Eric up here in a minute to speak. Get her up here a minute. Come on, Katie.
Right.
You can go ahead and get it over with.
Get it over with. That's the word. Yeah.
Everybody,
Hey, everybody.
it's Katie G, y'all.
How y'all doing? Good to see all of you in here tonight.
Yeah. We got a pretty good crowd in here. It's
Yeah.
37, which a lot of them, some
A
of
lot
them
of us are
here.
here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. There's a lot of good people here. Hot.
It is. It's turned out summer in Alabama.
Yeah, it
The
sure
humidity
has.
really piled in today. But I know you and John have got out and visited here, but y'all got out and seen part of around this neck of the woods.
It's beautiful.
So y'all went up to the grist mill and went to Bluebell's ice cream parlor.
And we went in. We didn't do the whole tour because we weren't sure how long it would take, but we did visit the ice cream parlor and watched them make, and they have windows that you can view down, and visited the gift shop.
Okay, cool.
We went to a couple local businesses. I'm an antiquer, so I went to
A few of the antique stores. Okay.
somebody, son of a junk man.
Okay. Cool.
Nice place to check out.
And there's one out there on 280. They may have done closed. It's called the Pickle Patch, but they heard they're changing owners.
Yeah. We noticed that when we went to it last time we were here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, when we were back here back in October.
Okay, good.
We went to one down in Childersburg. Sweet Pickens.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
Went to that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's right there by the grist mill. You was up there not far from the grist mill. So.
Yeah, we went up there. We've just ridden around and seen, and we went by the Bigfoot Expedition Museum on our way down. We met Miss Amanda Stowers and saw
That's
the
cool.
museum, and I recommend it. It was amazing. It's a lot more than you think it would be.
They've got a lot of stuff in there, and they've probably got a lot more since I've been there.
You know, it was really nice. It was worth the trip.
Trying to remember when me and Rebecca was over around 2018, 17. Well, it's been a while. It's been about 8 years since we've been over there. And I heard he'd added a lot more stuff. Mr. David had.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice. And you got to see them Georgia mountains.
Oh, yes.
You was
I
right there
did.
close to where me and Rebecca was at 2 weeks ago up in the, I guess they pronounce that Catahoula. I think it's pronounced Catahoula. Maybe.
I'm gonna tell you, these
But-
Alabama names got too many syllables in them.
Silicaca throws everybody for a loop. Or Opelika or
Uh,
Tallahatchie or
Tallahatchie got me. We were coming in, and John, my husband, he's with me. He He says, cuckoo, cachoo. And I said, what? And he said, what's the name of that town? It said it on the sign. And I think it was, Chakalaka.
Oh, Chakalaka. Yeah.
Yeah. He says, like cuckoo to choo.
Yeah, that's up in the northern end, Talladega National Forest. Yeah, Alabama has a lot of Indian names.
Yeah, we drove over a creek that had a name sign posted on, and it was too long to the sign was about as long as the bridge. It was so long.
Yeah.
something Hatchet Creek.
Yeah, we got Hatchet Creek. But trying to think of the one you're talking about. I can't remember now. Probably right over here in Clay County. I know the one you're talking about. And I can't pronounce it either. It's a strange. It's an oddball name. Most people, when they call, like we have people call me and say, "Now, what town you live in?" And they'll start, "Is that Sylacauga?" Or, I said, "It sounds just like it's spelled. It's Sylacauga,
Mm-hmm.
And but that's just the Indian name.
Well, it's really impressive in the area around with so much of the mining that goes on. There's a lot of, it seems, mining, and I think John's counted every shingle truck that's drove past with the shingle factories. And
Yep. We got a Sylacauga's pretty heavily industrial. Used to have one of the biggest cotton mills in the world. Y'all probably went right by it. It's right down from Bluebell. Most of it ain't there no more. They tore it down. Shut down in 2006.
We drove by.
They had plants all the way up North Carolina. It was Avondale.
Wow. Avondale Mills.
Yeah, that was it. That's their home office for Sylacauga.
Wow, I didn't know that.
The biggest mills here in Sylacauga. I think at one time, 3,500 people worked in that mill. But when they sold the mill, and then lightning hit it and had all that hard pine in it, and it burned it to the ground. And then they started tearing down they had one in Rockingham, and in fact, one of my first wife's uncles went to one in Wadesboro. Avondale had one in Wadesboro, North Carolina. It's small, and he was the plant manager there. So, and my brother-in-law, when he worked for Avondale, he went to Rockingham and a couple other cities in North Carolina where Avondale had some mills.
They had mills out on the eastern end.
Yeah, the eastern side. Yeah, Wadesboro, I think it's kind of between Charlotte and toward the coast there.
Yeah, it's just outside Rockingham. Yeah.
So they had my brother-in-law went up there a lot. He had to go up there like once every 2 months because he was an engineer with them. So that was them, and then we got the largest marble quarry in the world. Y'all get to go out and check out what they call they got a place you can go pull in, and if you think about it tomorrow, if you're out, type it in, but it's right there. If you remember seeing the Little Caesars Pizza,
yeah.
If you hang a left, so right carries you back in Sylacauga. If you hang a left, go right down there about a quarter of a mile, you'll see a sign that says the observation deck. And you can pull out there and you'll see the North Quarry.
Oh wow, we'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, I picked up a couple pocketfuls of interesting rocks walking around.
Yeah.
I don't ever go nowhere without rocks coming home with me.
There's a lot of quartz down here.
Yep. It is.
Well, I'm glad y'all got to come. Glad y'all are getting to see some of the area. Hey, I can't go show people a lot of stuff, but I had to work some this week. So,
well, it being what it is, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, you too. I'm glad you and John made it.
It's wonderful.
I'm glad y'all made it.
Yeah. Well, I picked up a plant of the week, but it's not so much a plant.
Okay.
It's a mushroom. This is a red-capped rusula, or also known as a red emetic. And it's not good for you. Don't eat it if you see it.
Toxic.
That it is, you can cook it. Has a peppery, unpleasant, chemically taste. If you're desperate to eat it, you can eat it, but it's going to give you a tummy ache.
Okay. Like a
It
lot
has,
of wild plants too. Okay.
Instead of like the agaric family having a rounded top, this makes a cup top. It has this indention in it. It does develop these white spots as it ages.
Okay.
This is a pretty old one. It's breaking apart.
Right.
It's got all these gills, these little ribs under here, a white to cream colored stem, and there's often a shoot off of it. This one's broken off, and a second mushroom. They're a double.
Okay.
Now, if you find yourself out in the woods and you really want to have a bellyache, you can eat you some of these. And they can be eaten if they're stewed very well, pickled very well, or fried very well.
Okay.
And they reduce a lot when you cook them. So you get one this size and cook it, and it'll end up about that big.
Okay.
Because a lot of moisture comes out of them.
Now that's grow in North Carolina too.
Yes, they do. Most funguses will grow in a lot of places that are warmer and moister.
Okay.
Now you might not see them, but it just means that they didn't fruit out within a year.
That's one thing me and Rebecca haven't fooled with a lot is the mushrooms. Now I did take. She got some mushroom logs, and I drilled the logs and put the mushrooms
Mm-hmm.
and sunk it in the creek for a while. And then we had a big flood, and it broke my rope that had that log
Yeah.
full of them. So that's something I'm gonna do again. But now my property's full of them down there in that bottom behind the house.
Yeah, they're all around here. Yeah, you just gotta look for them.
Yeah.
But know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But,
But I appreciate you showing everybody that.
oh, you're welcome. You're
Everything.
welcome.
I want to word Rebecca not snuck off too.
She has put some distance between her and the camera.
She kills me some days about this.
Yeah.
Some days I don't know, I guess she has her days like anybody else, you know. So,
I reckon. Well, everybody, it was great seeing you. I wish every one of you could be here. I miss you. Love you much. See you
thank you,
later.
Katie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Katie. Hey, David Baylott and Tammy and Miss Sharon Guy. Somebody come on up. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Hey, Jessica. Everybody should know her, Jessica Jones.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Mark.
So you made it this time without going through the woods.
I did. Last time, I was trying to get out here, and my son was with me, and
Right.
I didn't get exact directions, y'all. You got to get the exact coordinates if you're going to have me go somewhere, okay? And then I was trying to come out here. I was really excited to come hang out with Jeff Townsend and all you guys, and I never made it. I got turned around, and I drove through a creek, then two creeks, a river, and I think I drove over a berm that I shouldn't have. And my son was crying, so we just turned around. So I made it this time. I made it, and I'm excited. There's so many great people here.
I'm glad you made it this time. And
Thank you.
this is a very active campground. A lot of stuff has happened here over the years. I've been knowing about this place. Well, I used to hunt down in here a lot too, but the late Tal Banco is what he was known in the Bigfoot world. But Billy White was the one that he researched some private land not far from here, and he followed them up into here on the creek. That's how he found out where they were staying at. So they stay in this area. And of all the outings we've had here, we've had a lot of activity. And supposedly around the early 80s, there's supposed to have been a guy killed here. So by a number of animals. So might have to get you to one of these days you have time to do your
Remote viewing.
remote, see what you can tell me about it.
I would love that. That was Flat Rock, y'all.
Yeah.
In case y'all couldn't tell who that was. That's the infamous, the legend,
Flat Rock.
the legend, the man, the myth,
That's
Flat
it.
Rock. Yeah.
Got Wendell sitting right over there. And Roger, Mr. Dale. We got a lot of folks here. Now, is this your first time in the southern end of the Talladega National Forest?
It is. It is. Yeah. I mean, I've been coming out to the Talladega National Forest since I was in high school, which is several decades.
Right.
It's been a while. But yeah, we come out here. I do some of my research out here, and I love going around Cheehaw area. And
Yeah.
it's a great place. I mean, there's so much high strangeness out here. And this place is super squatchy. I love this area right here.
This is the very end of it, where it ends on the southern end. And yeah, you know, Tuberville and the other senator of Alabama just got allocated to buy 50,000 more acres for it.
Oh, really?
They're going to try to go more further south with it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's more area for the crew to come out here.
They want to mess with you, ain't they?
I know he got my phone number. He was trying to get my phone to ring.
See, here's my secret. I always keep my ringer off. Okay, I do too many live shows over on my channel, so nobody can ever get in touch with me ever. So, yeah. But thank you for inviting me out
All
here.
right.
This is
Tell
great.
everybody about your show a minute, because
Yeah.
I know everybody should know, but they might be somebody in here that don't or something. But
Okay. I'm also known, I'm Jessica Jones. I'm also known as the Cryptid Huntress. And I have a YouTube channel. It's called The Cryptid Huntress. And I have a show tomorrow night, Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern and 9 Central. And I have shows on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So y'all just tune in, check out my website, thecryptidhunters.com.
yeah, she has some interesting people on. I try to catch it when I can. So.
Oh yeah, I've been Bigfooting since 2011. So I'm a longtime Bigfoot field researcher.
Now, what state did you see your first booger in?
Georgia. Most of my Bigfooting has been up in Georgia, in North Georgia mountains. Yeah, so Georgia and Alabama and Florida and North Carolina and Tennessee. I do a lot of. I'm on 4 different research teams, so I'm always out in the woods.
Well, me and Rebecca went and camped out at the Rocky Mountain Project above Rome back in May. That's a place
I need to go there. Yeah,
And then we went up into how you pronounce it, Catahoula or Catahita,
it sounds good to me.
right there above Chatsworth,
Yeah.
up in what they call the Frog Loop.
Okay.
We went riding up in
Yeah.
there, and boy, that place in there looked very squatchy. So,
Oh, good.
so,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, well, I'm gonna come back out here with y'all some more because this is fun.
oh yeah,
This is a
You
good
can
place.
Come, we can come for a whole weekend. And
Hmm.
if you ever want to come, just with a small group, let me know.
Okay.
And I
Oh, my guys are gonna see this. They're gonna want to come out here for sure. Yeah.
Well, there's been what they thought dog men here too.
Hmm.
There's
We
been
chase
some
all of it.
pictures here with something that like had pointed ears. So
Okay. Well, I might just have to put my hammock, Bigfoot Dogman burrito up tonight and stay.
we might hear
know.
some screaming later tonight or something.
I don't scream, but I'll shoot. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Well, it's good to see everybody.
Thank you,
you.
Jessica.
Thanks,
I'm glad
chat.
you got to come.
Okay, me too. Me
We'll
too.
be talking.
We'll
We'll talk
go
later.
party. I'm just kidding.
Come on, Mr. Gary.
Where you been?
I'm gonna plug the conference.
Sir,
I'm gonna plug the conference.
what now?
So I was gonna plug the conference.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Hey everybody, if you're down this way tomorrow, at Jacksonville University at Gamecock Drive is Alabama Bigfoot Conference. Come by and see us. Doors open at 9 o'clock.
9 to 5,
9 to 5. Or no, 9 to 6, I think.
9 to 6. Okay.
I think so. It's gonna be a good show. Y'all come by.
All right, good deal. Good deal. Yeah, if you're up in that neck of the woods, it's right there, right outside between Anniston and Jacksonville, which is right off I-20. So we're about 50 miles from it right now.
Yeah, it's an hour drive for me in the morning. Tracy and I come down here, spend some time with this good people down here, and then go to the conference tomorrow.
That'd be good.
It's been a long drive, but it's worth it.
Yeah, you've been here since Saturday.
I've been here since Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Saturday.
13-hour drive.
Yeah, that's pretty rough from Oklahoma, but you done good, and the weather's been decent.
Oh, it's been great.
Been decent. Day got a little hotter than usual, and we got a little more rain probably gonna pile in here tomorrow. So,
Mark and Becca and everyone else, a great bunch of people here. Wish everybody else could be here with us.
yeah, I do too. And I know a lot of folks don't like camping this time of year, and I can't blame them. It gets hot.
It's warm.
You got to keep a lot of water going and all that good stuff. What you keep walking in there for, Joe?
Hi, Rhonda. I see
I
you.
wasn't that close.
I don't care. I'm just messing with you.
Hey, somebody will come in on one of their shows and tell what's going on. And we have been having activity.
Yeah, they have. They've had
We
some
have
activity.
seen some. It's been great. I'll let somebody else get on here. I just wanted to plug conference tomorrow and say hi to everybody.
Appreciate you doing that, Gary. Come
I
on,
appreciate
Joe.
y'all letting me come down here.
I'll go.
Come on.
Here you go.
How's it going, bro?
Oh, pretty good. How you been?
Oh, I'll make it about you.
Oh,
No
we've been
tired.
doing a little running
Last
around,
night.
driving the roads.
I hear you. A long way from Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
What, 8 hours?
Probably.
Didn't get
Just
in
driving Miss Pat around, making a hero out of her.
like
That's
a
all I do.
hero. Showing everybody the video.
Trying to.
Trying to.
Rebecca got to see you yesterday. I hope you come down here in a little
Yeah, I
while.
will.
maybe.
I will.
Or
Well, I'll be
next
all-
day or so.
Yeah, I will. We'll be here off and on all weekend. So
we've been out with the weather permitting, and of course we made 2 trips to LBL this year. Where else did we go? Went around the house quite a bit too.
That's which national forest is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, Kisatchie National
Yeah,
Forest.
Kisatchie.
We've been in a couple different ones of them. Around our home till it started getting so warm and all. We hadn't been out as much, but we made pretty good rounds. We have mostly the normal things of deer and whatnot at night. But we were real fortunate to catch that one thermal, and we're proud to have it. We're fortunate to get it. It's just grace of God. I still say, I wish I bought lottery tickets that night. It was a night to maybe win something. I don't know, but it was a good catch. It is what it is. We just present it as what it is. You take your own interpretation of it, and we're not saying one way or the other. And I think it's a lot to learn from it. And I hope everybody gets a chance to work it and learn from it if they take it seriously and look at it.
That's it. Yeah, it's good. Anyway. What I had seen, what you showed me over the telephone, you could definitely tell it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it don't do it justice what you got to see. And so we sit down and do a real close comparison, and maybe you get a good look at it. And make your own you can look at it as
what I was saying, just looking at it through Messenger showed me a lot. But yeah, the bigger the screen, the better you can see it. So
I hated that we took so long dragging along with this, but we was trying to find somebody that's make it take the shaking out of it. Well, it's kind of hard to fix stupid when you do stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was hard to find somebody to deal with it and was able to work with it. So we did get one bunch to do it. And we're proud of it for what they do. We're not always, we don't, we don't see exactly what they say they're seeing, and they don't see probably exactly what we're seeing. But, it's there presented, and they took it and ran with it forward. So we was glad to get it out. Maybe some people can enjoy it. Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
Look forward to more of it coming out.
Yep. And as far as I know, it's coming, and more people throughout the United States will probably be seeing it.
That's good. That's good.
That's all I know. We just want to just get it out there without it being saying really anything particular about it. We all have an opinion. I've been told one thing or another this weekend, and we're somewhere down the middle, and we're glad to have it. We appreciate the time, and it just got the luck, people. It's not nothing special about anybody, but you just got to go to be there to do it.
Right. Well, that's it.
We just have to be retired and able to do something.
Way you catch something is be in the woods, unless it's coming to your house. And a lot of people ain't fortunate enough. Well, I ain't gonna say fortunate. That might be a whole different way of saying that. A lot of folks don't have them coming up to the house.
So the weather was horrible, but everybody that went in on this deal said we're going, and so we stayed with the plan, and that paid off in the end. All right, guys, y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Mark.
Glad y'all got to make it up. You gonna come speak to everybody on the live, Miss Lisa?
Well,
it's up to you now. I don't force nobody. You can just speak if you want to, or however you want to do it. You introduce yourself. This is Miss Lisa.
hello.
And, I know you've been involved in the Bigfoot world. How long now?
I had a flashlight that night.
Oh, I don't know. Year and a half, maybe 2 years.
I got you in curiosity.
Yes, that and having lived up in Alberta, Canada, I had heard stories. So, of course, I was young and I didn't put two and two together for years. But
So you may have had some stuff happen when you were young.
and I've not seen one, but up in other end of the Talladega Forest, I drove down, of course, one of the dirt roads, and there was a tree straight across the road, and a pickup truck had just passed me. And I got out and looked at this tree, and it didn't look like it had been run over. So, I'm not saying that's what did it, but
Just something odd about it.
and the root ball on the end And I never, if I'm in my vehicle, I've always got 2 backpacks, plaster and water.
Okay.
And a new product I found at Hobby Lobby called something cast, perfect cast. It's supposed to be stronger than plaster. So one day.
All right. Well, you keep coming to these outings, and you and your friends looking for fossils. Y'all might. You never know.
That's what I was about to say. I carry it on all my fossil trips.
Right. Because some of the places you go look for fossils is probably where they're hanging out at. So
Some of them, yes.
yeah, up and down these creek banks and stuff.
Yes.
So, you know, maybe you and your friends might get a glimpse of one, and I hope it's not a one that's ill natured. Maybe it'll be just a peeping Tom, or whatever you want to call him. You know.
Yeah. Or a young one.
Yeah, one that ain't just being curious, want to see what y'all up to. Which I've always been fortunate. I don't think I've ever had any just get downright belligerent, try to, do anything to me, but can't say it might not happen one day, but right now, so far ain't nothing got out of hand too much. So, but well, I appreciate you coming by and speaking, and this is what it's about to people. It's about the people, and you're gonna try to make it back tomorrow night, or you don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
According to weather and how you feel by tomorrow evening, you going to the conference too tomorrow?
Oh
right?
yes.
Are you spending the night tonight, or you just rode down?
No, I'm going to spend the night tonight.
And then go up to the conference.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. I'm glad you made it down. A little on the hot side, but hey, we're gonna make it.
Well, it's not July or August, so we're good.
Yeah. And sometimes at night, once it cools off a little bit, so it's not god awful out here. So
Yeah.
And everything. But well, I appreciate it, and I'm glad you got to come, and I hope you fill up coming back tomorrow night if the weather is not havoc. And we may be hunkered down all in our vehicles trying to survive. I mean, I'm hoping the weather don't get as bad. They got some severe weather, but I'm hoping that
the storms seem to be moving east, but they're moving north at the same time. So.
Right. There's several went through here today real close by. There's one went right south of here a few miles, and then there was one went right north of my home this evening. Boy, it was raring when it went through. But I'm glad it's held off down here. That's good. So and maybe tomorrow it'll hold off too. And so, Lord have mercy. Ain't gonna get herself whooped over. Oh man.
I live in pretty much a suburban area, so I do have to get out if I ever think I'm going to find anything. But even on my
well, they live around suburban areas too.
Yeah, they
and
can.
The area you're in ain't far from some.
Yeah, there's a lot of ravines where I live, where they could come up the creeks. And,
It's
they need to come in there and clean out the wild pigs.
Oh, y'all done got pigs in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
city's been.
That's the thing about this part of the country down here. This place won't hold hogs.
Really?
They've got in here before, and the hogs. They said within a few months the hogs are gone. So something thinned them out.
Something, yeah.
But now you go 30 miles south of here, it's loaded with them. But or if you go east a good piece, they're there, or west, they're there. But up in this radius area, they just hadn't got started, which is a good thing. I'm glad they hadn't. People have seen them. They were seen 3 or 4 miles from here. There was several big herds of them for a while, and then they said they all just disappeared. So landowners might have got some of them too.
Yeah.
And the game wardens may have trapped a bunch of them. I don't know, but they said that she might not want you breathing on her, sister. You ain't got the best breath in the world. So,
She's good.
Oh yeah, she's a good dog. She's a good dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I lost my cat in April, so I have to go visit people with pets.
I hate that.
I'm saying I'm not going to get any more. So,
Well, you get attached. They get to be family.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when you lose them, it's tough. And
Yeah.
that's the bad thing about pets. They don't live as long as most of us do.
Yeah.
So, I've told Rebecca several times, I said, if something ever happens to sister, I'll get another house dog. Because, babe, well, never mind. I thought she was finna run off. She's probably finna lay down right there. But I don't know who's all done got in the chat. I mean, look at the chat in the last few minutes. Let's see.
Yeah, the cat
Hey,
I've had.
Stacy's in there. Miss Diane Fowler. There's Debbie. And whoever else I've missed tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. Everything. So I know there's pumps more in there. I just ain't been paying attention to the chat as much. Usually Rebecca's watching it for me better. So, but well, I'm glad you got to come, Miss Lisa. And hope you get to come back tomorrow night and everything.
I will certainly consider it.
Okay, maybe the weather will hold off for us.
Okay.
Maybe you won't get too wore out tomorrow.
All right.
You okay? Be careful.
Yep. All right.
Oh Lord, here comes a whole lot of trouble.
Hello out there in YouTube land. What's going
You
on?
was just on with me a few weeks ago.
I was. I can't get away from Alabama.
You had to just move on down here.
Yeah, I might do it, buddy. I
Between
sent
me
the
and
doctor
Greg
papers
and
out.
Kumbo and Flat Rock, we keep you busy.
I know, man. I know.
You can just run the state back and forth.
I wish everybody could come visit.
Yeah.
But had a good time since I've been here.
Yeah, you got here Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday evening. Been here
Yeah,
most of the week. I've had a little action.
Yeah.
Little action. Had an orb fly towards me and right over my head, about the size of a golf ball.
What
And
color was it?
white.
Solid white.
Very white, bright.
Okay, cool.
It flew 4 or 5 feet over my head, up the road and over my head.
Wow.
And
That
last
was
night,
going back toward your tent.
it came from the bottom towards my tent,
Wow.
up the hill.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was a solid ball, about that big.
They got that big. Okay. Well, cool.
And
And you're camped out in the same spot that you're in the meet and greet. You had
yes,
your zipper
yes,
and your tent
yes.
unzipped.
And last night we heard something trying to do an owl call. There was actually 2 different calls coming from that bunch, whatever it was.
Okay.
They went on for quite a bit,
Wow.
but they were not very good owls.
Wow.
Yeah, they were just hooting, hoot.
Yeah,
hoot,
you could
hoot.
tell. You could tell the difference.
Oh yeah. The other one that broke in, it was terrible. But yeah, I've had a great time. Glad to be here with these people and just socializing.
I'm glad you got to come back. Glad the weather's been,
Oh yeah,
even though it's a little hot.
right. It
I mean,
hadn't,
we had a little rain. What was it, Wednesday? A little rain come through. And maybe tomorrow that rain they're talking about stay north of us. or
Yeah.
something.
it's been really nice at nighttime.
It has. It has.
I built a fire both nights till I stayed up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
And you have any anything ease up around you?
Not that I know of.
You know,
I mean, I heard subtle noises in the woods,
Right.
but that could be anything.
right.
But yeah, I've had a great time. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you got to come, and hope tomorrow maybe the weather will hold for us. We can have a good fire pit tomorrow night
Yeah, that'd be great.
and cook us some winnies over the fire.
Yeah.
And have some more fellowship.
Me and food, we stay close together.
I knew you got happy when Jessica showed up.
Oh, I did. I was remote viewing as much as I could remote view, and she popped right up out of nowhere. Made my day.
I knew I'd make your day, right?
Yeah, and I've got to meet a lot of people. Hey, Wanda and Crystal.
Hey, Wanda, good to see you.
Yeah,
Good to see
I've
you.
had a great time.
Anybody else I've
You
missed?
tell Abby I said hello, and we'll be meeting up soon.
Hey,
got-
Mr. Moore.
But anyway, I'll step out of here and let somebody else come on over and talk.
Right. Yeah.
All right, everybody, take care out there in YouTube land.
Glad you got to make
All
it,
right,
brother.
buddy.
Hey, fellas. How
Hey,
you?
Mark.
You doing okay?
I'm doing great. Burning up.
Yeah.
Little warm out
Well,
here.
This is our type of weather, though, man.
Yeah.
Let's
He
live in
keeps
Alabama,
telling me that up
Mississippi.
in the mountains it'll be cooler. I'm waiting on the cooler in the mountains.
Well, now I will tell you this. And Rebecca thought I was crazy, and she's a Georgia girl. Well, me and her first started dating. It was August, and she wanted to ride up on Creepy Mountain one night, and we rode up there. I said, "We'll get you a long sleeve shirt." She looked at me like I lost my mind. She better get you a long sleeve shirt. And when we got up on top of that mountain, she was glad she did.
But it's higher than this.
Well,
A little.
yeah, it's 5,000
I mean,
feet.
it started cool. It cooled off about what from 91 down to 82 coming up here, but
Yeah.
it's been so humid.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all got to make it.
We got to
up.
come for 5 days. We've been here since Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't get to see y'all Wednesday. 'Cause I
Yeah,
had to
and
go.
we just missed you Wednesday, but my son's taking care of my mom because he said I needed a break. I'm like, yeah, think.
Well, yeah. I'm glad y'all got to make it up.
We are too.
I'm glad the
We-
weather's held for everybody pretty good.
We didn't camp. We got a hotel room because I'm having trouble with my rotator cuff. And I knew I couldn't help him load and unload and didn't want to put it all on him. But, and I've enjoyed that AC. I won't lie.
Not gonna lie, but I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
And that nice bed.
Oh, I understand. You get sleeping in the woods is fun, but after a while, it starts wearing on you. And then if you fight heat or if you're fighting extreme cold, that'll work on you. You know.
It does. I'm taking the stuff they give me for my breast cancer makes me hungry and hot. So
Right.
I can't win. But it's been great. Everybody's been so cool. We've had so much fun.
Well, y'all been getting out, checking out some other stuff too.
We
man.
tried to, but we ended up, we came and got the trailer today, so we didn't get to see the grist mill.
Not yet.
Well, maybe y'all can ride by there tomorrow.
We might be able to.
Or y'all going?
Oh,
up
no,
to-
we're going to Anniston.
We're gonna be.
Well, I was
we're
gonna
gonna
say
be-
if you come back, you can.
It don't open till 11 on Sundays. That's why we didn't go to it that late.
Well, now you can still ride through, but yeah. I thought they opened at 8 on Sunday. He's up there at 8 o'clock on
I
Sunday
think
morning.
that's why we
It
didn't
just
go
said,
that
or
Sunday.
we looked it up and it said 10 or 11.
And
Nah,
that would have made us
you-
get home too late.
I was going up there.
Okay,
A lot of
Okay,
times
we'll
they
make
get-
it through there on Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna say they get up there sometimes earlier.
Like you
Yeah,
said,
that was
even if
one
they're not
morning
working
after
right
we'd come to
through.
the fire pit.
And when
we were
you get there, don't go always down to the mill. If you'll turn to the right, you'll see that pavilion. You'll see another little office building right behind the pavilion. That's usually where they're sitting.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll pull up the grist mill. You think there's nobody there, but he is there. You know, and if you see that little golf cart sitting out anywhere, they out there
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay.
So
well, we'll check it out because we do want to go there.
yeah, go
It's on
check
our
it out.
list.
We've been hanging out here. We went in last night because we thought Eric and them was going to be here at 7. We were going to wait on them, but then they said 11, and we're like, I can't. Then they did all their singing and picking last night. We missed it.
Oh.
I'm staying around for it tonight.
Well, me and Rebecca got to enjoy some of it Monday and Tuesday night. 'Cause I was off Monday and Tuesday. And I wanted to take off Wednesday and Thursday night, but we were shorthanded at work. And so just kind of let everything go, you know.
Sometimes you have to.
Well, I hated to do them guys that work that way.
Yeah.
Me lay out, just put them that much more shorthanded. And because I don't want nobody doing me that way, you know. So,
Well, he took some time off for this. Yeah, it's this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
got-
then
I
they-
got
Then they
vacation.
don't have him back on the schedule till the 13th, so he actually got a break.
well,
Got a
that's
bit of a
good. That's
break.
good. That's good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let some other
Yeah,
people
Flat Rock's
talk.
ready.
Flat
Okay.
Rock's in the green
Flat ready.
room.
He's on
He's,
deck.
he's ready.
Hi, everybody
I'm
in
glad
chat.
y'all got to make it up, man. I'm glad
Yeah,
y'all
me
had a
too.
good
Yes, sir.
time.
We're enjoying ourselves, meeting everybody.
Glad y'all got to come.
I gotta go visit Roger. He was in the middle of a story.
Oh,
Flat
okay.
Rock, you're up. You're up.
Come on, Flat Rock. So, hey, everybody, anybody else that's coming in, I hope I've, well, she done the plan of the week, but she didn't bring her book, Tammy. I'm sorry. This we got kind of off key here a little bit tonight, but everything good. Hey, Flat Rock, how's it going, bro?
Going good, Mark. How
Glad you got to make it up.
Oh, me too. Looking forward to that conference tomorrow.
Okay, well, good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. I don't know if me and Rebecca are gonna get to make it or not. We may.
Well, I hope to see y'all come up. Yeah. I mean, I'm just basically going up there to talk to people.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I really go for. I ain't a conference for just talk
Well,
to
I'm
people.
glad you got to make it back up. You've been up here since what?
Oh, this is my 9th time here.
Yeah, you've been here a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Now you came up when did you get here? Yesterday?
No, I come in Wednesday, but I've been staying over at David.
Oh, you've been
Beasley's
over
house.
David's? Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
spent a couple of nights over there.
Okay. Cool. Has Ken and them made it yet?
Yeah, Ken's over there.
He's over?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
good.
over there.
I may have to get him up
Yeah,
here in a
yeah,
minute.
he was up here yesterday. I don't think he's got here yet.
Oh, he ain't got here tonight.
Yeah,
Okay.
he ain't got here tonight yet. I think they went to Hatchet Creek today. But
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Went down to Hatchet Creek.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe he'll come in before we get off live. I'd like to get him on a minute if he wants to.
Yeah. So, they wanted to go kayaking, and I just don't know. I mean, back home, the river was just like full. I just didn't want to get in a high river if it's.
Well, Hatchet's not bad. There's probably went in down there at probably double bridges and probably floated up to where the lilies are, the Cahaba lilies, and it's not real deep in there too much. And the creek through there is kind of slow moving. And Hatchet, when it's been raining, it can be a pretty good creek.
Yeah.
But this time of year, it's not too bad.
I think that's ours is flat full. It's
Yeah.
running real hard. I figured it was the same thing.
Yeah, it moves, but
Yeah.
you don't have to fight it too much. And Hatchet Creek's got a lot of sandbars,
Yeah.
a lot of rocks in it. So sometimes you get out having to pull through rocks.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people try to float it between about March and May.
Yep.
Middle of summer, a lot of folks go do sections.
Yep.
And they try to do the sections where it's more water than rocks.
Yep.
So it's a beautiful creek.
Yeah. I mean, I think you was pulling out yesterday. No, I know I seen Miss Rebecca here yesterday.
Yeah, and I had to work last night.
Okay.
So she rode down for a little
Yeah.
while. Me and her come down, sit Monday night, Tuesday night with everybody, and I had to work Wednesday and Thursday. She didn't get to make it Wednesday night, and I wanted to come down yesterday before I went to work, but I didn't have enough time. I'm working these 12 hours.
I know.
In
I
between 12,
work
you don't have much time.
You got that right.
So
I worked a minimum of 12 hours till they shut me off my job. So
and I went on today, tried to get me a good heavy nap. That way tonight I wouldn't be falling asleep on everybody.
I did. Me and Ken did the same. We didn't leave here till 3:00 this morning. And slept late.
Yeah.
Before they come back out here.
Are you camping down here tonight?
Yeah.
or- Okay.
Yeah. I'll be here for the rest of the
You down there
week.
with Joe and
Yeah.
Pat?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah. I always camp down there except for when the first few times
Right.
when I was up here. But the last 4 times I've been down there.
Good.
Yeah. I like it down there.
Yeah, that's a good spot. There's a big old trail that comes in.
Yeah.
That's where the old tent was found.
That's where the tent was found. Yep.
So there's no telling, but this whole place in here has stuff going on all the time.
This place is bugger than my place.
It's a booger
It's
spot.
a buggery spot.
They don't seem to be too mean here, though.
I can't say that at my spot. They ground at me back in February, end of February.
Right.
I had my dog out using the bathroom. Then I started hearing what sounded like heavy breathing.
Right.
Next thing you know, that thing starts growling at me. That's why I've been playing them guys over there so they could hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had that one incident that, I mean, we really don't know what happened. I'm never going to say the Bigfoot had done it.
Yeah.
We just don't know. In fact, we had somebody here say it wasn't a Bigfoot, it was something else. It wasn't Dog Man either. It was another thing, but they felt like it was something totally different. Got that hunter that day. And I mean, that's very possible.
Yeah. I remember when y'all told me that story. I think it was the first time I ever come to your house at that fire pit night.
Mhm.
And Kumbo was over there. But you was telling me that story. You and Jonathan Owen was telling me that story about the guy over in that green field.
Yeah.
And
they found more people down in here, but a lot of them they said was drug overdose or this or that.
Yeah,
so,
but drug overdose don't have a leg bent behind them and an arm removed.
Yeah. So it was something odd. Abandoned tents and places, and people found their cars. I mean, a lot of stuff goes on in Talladega National Forest. More than people realize.
More than
keep
people
a lot
realize.
of it quiet.
Yep. A lot quiet.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm glad you got to make it this weekend. Got to come up. Maybe the weather will hold for us.
Yeah.
And it's always good to see you too.
Oh, I enjoy always coming up here, being with the people of this community. Just like family. You can't beat it. I mean, last night, we had 4 guitars picking last night at the same time.
Right.
Oh man, that was awesome. Awesome.
A little thunder in the south.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll hold on. Maybe it'll go south, stay south.
Well, that's what it's been doing. It's come thunder 3 times now. Earlier in the day and then a little later, but never come through. Never come through.
One of them stayed south of us. One of them went north of us.
Yeah.
Went right north where I live.
Yeah.
And they're saying tomorrow might be a little more of them, but maybe we'll get lucky and then it'll stay north of us or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Hate that for them folks up there, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Better for us, though.
Yeah, it is. That's bad to say, but yeah, you're right.
You got that right.
You're right. So, well, anything new happening down at your place?
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. January, February, March. And that's as far as I got with my audio right now.
A lot of stuff taking place.
Oh my goodness. I caught some audio that just really scary.
Right.
Scary stuff.
They got a little active at the house. I got one footprint that I've got to show everybody when I get a chance. Do a little video on it.
Well, I've been getting some new stuff as well that ain't never been happening. Been getting like EVPs right there at the house, on the outside of the house, but it's at the house. One of those audios, I mean, I played before that I thought it was something else. I thought it was saying my son's name, Little Kenny.
Right.
But it's actually saying, "You'll kill me." And it ain't just once. I got it twice now. One in January, one in February. Totally different voices, but saying the same thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. One time I can see, but twice, back to back each month.
Right.
That to me, that's not a coincidence. It just ain't. I'll send you those 2 audios. You will hear. You will kill me. It's crazy. And we ain't never experienced this EVP stuff over there before.
Right.
Knowing I've been recording for 5 years, never, but I've got received 1 EVP over 5 years. I've got 10 in the last 3 months. But that one word specifically twice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. So something new happened.
Hey, babe. Sister, come here, because you got a leash on you. Come here. Rebecca went that way somewhere. Let me hold her a minute till Rebecca comes back. Well, I still got to get down your way.
Yeah.
I need to get down. I told Rebecca we need just one Saturday morning, nothing else. Just get up, and call you, Miss Bama, and Ken, all of us go have lunch somewhere, and then maybe that evening come back by your place and sit a little while or something.
Yeah.
Because you ain't, but what, 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours from here, Straight south. Straight
Right
south.
down 65.
Yep, straight down 65. And Miss Bama, she ain't too far away. She's about an hour. I guess about an hour from me.
Yeah, I think she's a little more closer to the Florida line.
Yeah. She's over in the Sampson area. She don't live in Sampson, but she's around Sampson. Yeah.
I see she started back doing a few videos.
Oh, I'm glad too.
Yeah, me too.
I always enjoyed her videos.
She always captures some good stuff.
She catches some good stuff.
She's the one that caught that stuff in my video.
Yeah.
She was watching, buddy, and she caught it.
I mean, she's a good watcher. I mean, you watch her videos, she's moving that camera. Sometimes you can't keep up with her, but she sees it.
Yeah.
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 I have to slow it down at the half speed just to to see what she's seeing.
Right.
But that woman's got some good eyes.
Yeah, she does.
Oh my goodness.
She caught them. She caught that stuff in my corn patch that time. And,
Yeah.
I mean, she nailed it right off bat. Then
Yeah.
this blue eyed went by, watched another video and caught stuff in there. So, I mean, she's got Hawkeye. I say no doubt about it. So,
Yep.
Everything all right, babe?
Yeah, I'm just looking for my phone now.
Is that Flat Rock?
That's mine.
Flat Rocks.
What you done
Is it in
done?
the arm of your chair?
Yes, it
Yep.
is. Okay, I'm
Thank
sorry. But I don't even know who's all in chat right now. I ain't been watching chat too much. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm enjoying talking to everybody. Hey, Hillary. Hey, Miss DD.
Hey, Miss Hillary.
Hey, Vera X.
Wanda. Hey. Miss DD.
Glad to have it. And congratulations, Miss DD, on retirement this year. Hey, Rex. Good to see you in here.
Somebody block Wendell.
And Wendell's sitting 10 foot from us. He's sitting over at 10 foot away. Lord have mercy.
Hey, Miss Diane.
Hey, there's that squawking holler.
Yeah, I'm going to get him in just a minute.
There's Roger.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, Rod.
Don't interrupt you.
Hey, I'm about done here. Come on.
No, go ahead.
Come on, Roger. Come on.
We'll see everybody.
I got to get Wendell and Donna over here in a minute, too.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you getting on in a minute.
Oh, trip over the car battery.
Yeah, to be careful. Don't get
My stuff ain't working like it was in the past. So, oh Lord, how y'all doing? Who we got in here?
Oh, we got a bunch of folks. I ain't been watching chat like I should be.
Hillary, how are the ticks? Oh, they're good. They're fast and they're hard to find.
Miss Ray, Stacy, and Hillary, and Rex, and Miss Diane's in there, and Wanda, Mr. Rex. So good to see everybody. And everybody, y'all know who Roger is. Watch and holler.
Yeah.
And he come down and camp out a few nights and enjoy fellowship. And this is where Roger got his good first one of your house.
Man, I tell you, coming back down here, people always ask me about the place. I'm like, y'all, I'm not scared, but it makes you a little nervous. Y'all have a little more experience with it, and it's just one of those places. We took a wrong turn and saw some of the boogeriest country I've ever seen on the other side of the hill over there, and coming in here. And the main thing is meeting up with the people, and it's once you get into this and you start asking questions or whatever, and you start actually meeting the people, that's what it's all about. So,
It is. It's about the people.
Yeah.
It's about the people. If I never seen another Bigfoot or had activity, I've made a lot of friends with people I consider family. And so, Jesus loves you. Glad to have you. And I didn't even realize you had called me. I don't know if I went through a dead spot when you tried to call me, but when I left here, I went to call Rebecca. I seen a missed call from you, but it was like an hour before, and you was already here.
Yeah.
And that must have been when you got over on that White Gap Road.
Yeah. Heather was like, "Is this the road?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "All right." And we get around the bend, because it was like
Right.
almost 4 drive needed looking.
Right.
And
Hey,
this
Brandon.
is my type of road. And there's the gate was up. I'm like, well, no, I guess it's not. And then there's a 20-mile loop, maybe around back here.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
If I had known exactly which way you was coming, and I should have called you, I could have told you not pay attention to GPS when it said White Gap or Sage Gap.
Well,
So
the thing was, after we passed that turnoff, we came back. Then it started looking familiar, and we kind of just, guessed our way then.
when you came out of White Gap, if you just went on over the mountain, over, come down to the bottom, you could just turn right, ran a mile, and you've been on this road.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good information to have. Yeah.
And you've
But-
been up there on top of Bull Gap.
But the thing is, though, Mark, that's fun. Those misses like that, I got to see part of the country I've never seen before. And, I enjoy it. Heather, on the other hand,
She wasn't caring for that too
no,
much.
she's like, oh heavens, that's her thing. She won't cuss y'all, but she oh heavens. I'm like, yeah, I got to back out of here.
Glad that's working out for you, dog.
Look at them.
They're playing.
They're spending some of that energy. They rode. We've got Honey and Trigger here, and Trigger's the pup, and he's having a ball.
That'll help them where they can move around better.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
And then you got to sit there and hold that leash all night. Yes, I know how that
And,
is.
and see,
sometimes.
we can move around a little bit and talk to folks because one of us have to stay with them because they spar. They do that all the time.
Yeah, that's good. That will run some of that energy off.
Good exercise.
Yeah, that's good for them.
So y'all, I believe I was set up. They're like, hey, here's a good spot over here, and I pull up. And they said they're shading. They're talking about the shade and everything. Oh, you got most shade most of the day. And I step out, and there's a full watermelon broken in half, just inside the woods line. It's like starting a new job, like playing the jokes, So y'all trying to get me eat up. But Gary's over here watching.
You'll be all right.
I'm gonna lock the doors.
You wake up during the night, have something looking in the window at you, saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
It'd probably be Wendell.
Wendell be sneaking around during the night.
Well, y'all, thanks for doing this. I know it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't me and Rebecca. It's just everybody
Kind
decided
of getting
to
together.
get together because a lot of them was going to the conference tomorrow. Because I knew I had to work a lot this week. But it was just a bunch of them wanted to get together and camp out while they was going to the conference.
Y'all, and that right there, no matter what you're interested in, when you get around like-minded people, and good people, you kind of get drawn together. So, I've seen it where people wouldn't talk about their experiences, but they get in a place like this and they'll open up. They'll open up.
Well,
and,
they get comfortable with everybody.
yes,
And
absolutely.
they see people ain't going to make fun of them.
Yep. And they're actually interested.
That's right.
Actually interested in
And that's what it's about. And if nothing out of these camp outs or outings, if anything comes out of them, to me, it's great. It's the friendships is made, people being able to openly talk and not be criticized.
Right.
And but when people come up and say, "Well, what I'm going to tell you is crazy," I tell them, "I done heard the crazy. You can't tell me much more crazy."
Yeah. I say this all the time. I'll be on the show telling my stories, and I'll be like, "Oh, we better pump the brakes, Roger. You sound a little crazy." But if it happens, it happens.
It happens.
You tell the details best you can remember it and go on.
Yeah, it's a whole different world when you get into this, and we all don't have explanations for everything, but we know it happens, and we know we're not imagining it, we're seeing it. If you catch it on audio, you're not imagining it. The audio caught it.
Yeah.
Or,
It can be measured.
Yeah, it can be measured.
You don't really have to cast a footprint. If you video it, and you measure, it's measurable. The audio is measurable. That's that to me. My sighting was, of course, unexpected, and it kind of messed with me a little bit throughout my life. But I didn't focus on it because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind until 2020.
Right.
And then, but when you find that first track or get that first howl or get that first piece of evidence, it's like scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, kind of sort of.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, why you go do that? That rush of like, I got you. You were right here. You took 3 steps here and went into the woods, and I know you were here. That's that feeling right there. It's not going to prove anything, but it's just it's fun.
And all these pictures people are getting are real pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We know we got the ones doing fake, and we know AI's doing, but there's a lot of folks getting the real deal.
Yep.
And all these folks, they ain't a big conspiracy to fake it.
the conversations that I've had on that tailgate in the past 2 hours, y'all, people that come in here and say, "Oh, who's this guy?" It's Mark and Roger, and what are they talking about, Bigfoot? It goes so far beyond that. That I'm blown away. Some of the conversation I've had tonight about energy and paranormal, normal, all that stuff, and not only the theories, but actually scientific knowledge being talked about.
Right.
That's not questionable. Like in other fields, it's not questioned, but sometimes it's questioned because some of the things that people see and can't explain. A lot of times we are finding out that it's what in the soil, it's what the water that's causing, maybe some kind of energy or whatever, and some of it's natural, but that could explain
all around us.
It's all of it.
We're energy.
We're energy.
Our soul and our spirit is the type of energy.
Exactly right. And I heard somebody say that, Mark, about 2 years ago, and I thought, what? And the more I talk to people, and the more I've learned, and the more I've seen, I contacted that person a few weeks ago, and I said, when you were on my show, I wasn't following you. I didn't understand. I said, now I understand about half of it, and I appreciate you exposing me to that, and get me across that hurdle, because it's just science.
It is.
It's just science. It's just natural. So
a lot of life is frequency.
Yes, sir.
Frequency.
And
we all beat to a little different frequency, and I think frequency is vibrations, and like you said, water causes energy, air causes energy. The trees put off energy.
Yep.
A lot of people think that's crazy. You go up and put your hand on a tree and sit there a minute and feel that tree.
Yeah. If you pay attention. If you slow down and get out of the rat race.
We're going to take your shoes off, walk across your yard barefoot, stand there a few minutes.
How many of you like going to the beach barefooted for about 3 or 4 days and you feel so much better?
Yeah, because that sand helps wear everything off of you. But all them calluses.
Yep. You know what? Look, back when I was young, we would be out.
Brother Ken.
We would be out in the in the woods and have chiggers all over us and whatever. And I would love going to Florida, because I would hit that beach and I'd run right off in the water. It would sting. 2 or 3 days, all of that was gone.
Oh yeah. It's life is energy. There's no doubt about it.
And then snuck in on us.
Hey, I'm glad you made it. I've missed him the last 2 nights because I had to work. So, but I made it tonight. So,
no,
to see you, bro.
You too. I'm glad you got up here.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I heard y'all went down on Hatchet today or something.
We did.
Okay, good.
Got water, cooled off.
Went up to the Cahaba.
No, I didn't go up to see them.
Okay.
I wanted to, but we didn't have no.
Y'all just got there at the swimming hole.
Just right there today.
People real busy today there.
There were several families. It was mostly people camping with kids.
Okay, good.
Mostly families.
I'm hoping they'll keep the roughnecks out of there.
I do too.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, it is.
I always enjoyed that creek my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that Hatchet Creek is a very important creek in this area, and a lot of the Native Americans, that was one of their main creeks.
Yeah.
They had villages all up and down that thing.
I told Heather today we were driving, and I said, "Are you noticing these signs, these road signs, these little towns? And have you noticed the names?"
Most of them Native American.
Yes, yes. And it's just,
Hard to find one that's not.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I saw one.
Well, you get up North Alabama, you'll find few, but you get down here in Central and going on south,
Right here.
in South Alabama, buddy, there's some names that you can't even hardly pronounce.
Come sit down and have a talk.
I appreciate you being on, brother.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
glad
sir.
You made it down.
Oh, we've had fun. Thank you. What's up, bud?
Good to see you.
It's my cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad you had him on a few weeks ago.
Well, he said we might have a shared ancestor
Hey, that's cool.
down the line. So
Possible. Well,
Me and Mark too. You know,
May do it. I got some Cherokee and Lumbee.
We
So
said
ain't no
that.
telling
Yeah.
what all throwed in there everywhere.
I got some of those Lumbee relatives too.
We're supposed to have a guy tomorrow, I think, coming. This lives right there around them. And,
That's cool.
I think he may have some in him. I have to ask him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say his name right now because I hate to say that, then I'll be wrong.
Yeah.
But he's a good fella, you know.
Good deal.
I appreciate it, Roger. Thank you. I'm glad you come, man.
Glad y'all made it safe.
And yeah, we parked you over there by the boogers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they said Roger's coming. They cracked a watermelon and threw it in the woods over here. If you don't believe me, I'll show it to you.
Nah, you'll be all right,
Hey,
brother.
sister.
You'll be all right.
Hey, sister.
Yeah, she's just relaxing under the table right now.
She's being sweet.
Yeah, she is.
She's a good dog.
I'm glad you got to come up. And
Me
Jonathan's
too.
with you too, isn't he?
He is, but he didn't come. He's too tired from
Oh, he's down
swimming
there.
hole.
Okay, he's down there with David. And them.
Yeah,
Okay.
David's working.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. Me, yeah, man, his
Yeah.
ship's opposite now. I hate that.
Yeah, that's what he told
I
me.
hate that now.
Yeah.
Maybe later on it'll swamp together or something.
Yeah, get back and sing.
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
hate
good.
that we got on opposite shifts. But
Yep.
so how's everything been going? And congratulations on graduating from the University of Alabama. That's a big accomplishment.
I'm glad to be finished.
I know you are. I know you, and you got to go walk, didn't you?
It took me a little while to get there, 58 years, but you know, I got there.
Never too late in life to go do something.
Oh, it's not.
You know,
You just got to put your mind to it.
that's it. That's it.
You decided something you want to do, or need to do, let's do it. Throw your best into it.
If you went and walked where a lot of folks have walked.
Yeah,
And,
that's true.
University of Alabama's a good school. Even
It
though I'm an
is.
Auburn fan, but I like Alabama too.
Auburn's because both
Both
of them
are
are
good
good
schools.
schools. Yeah. I got family in Auburn right now.
And the other ones, Jacksonville and Troy, Mobile, South Alabama, they all good schools. North Alabama, they all good schools. Alabama's got good schools. Sometimes everybody won't say we're the last and everything, but they just don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got our problems. Yeah, we do. But we got a lot of good stuff going on too.
All good stuff.
They just don't know about it, which
Right.
might be a good thing.
Yeah,
So-
if anybody was to come and look through, you know, go across the state from one end to the other, they'll find something that they like.
It is. It's a very diverse state.
Right.
I mean, we got mountains, we got coastal, hills, swamps, river bottoms, all kind of different cultures. I mean, Huntsville, Mobile, Birmingham, Montgomery out. I mean, it's a different little vibe.
It
you
is.
know.
It is all over.
It's
for
a
sure.
state rich in history. Some of it bad history, some of it good history. But that's everywhere. It's all over the world, really. But thunder's still rolling back in yonder, ain't it?
Yeah, I looked at the radar. It looked like there was some showers
Yeah, maybe they'll stay south.
coming across south of Birmingham. Looked like they were coming across. I thought maybe they'll fizzle out.
Maybe they'll stay away from here. Yeah.
Maybe sometimes after dark they fizzle out. a little.
Yeah. I'm hoping tomorrow they don't get too revved up either. That way we can have our fire pit tomorrow night and,
That'd be good.
you know, and not get, which we got these canopies sit on. We'll figure it out, you know. As long as we ain't getting
We're not
80 mile an
blowing
hour.
weather.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's plenty of folks had bad weather lately.
Well, anything interesting went on lately and down in your neck of the woods or heard
Yeah.
anything? Or
Well, we had some stuff over there on David's side of Creepy Mountain the other
Yeah.
night.
Okay.
It got kind of creepy there on us. We were sitting outside and
up at the fire pit.
yeah, well, we went to the fire pit and actually, no, that night we didn't even do a fire that night. Next night we did a fire because that's when Flat Rock got there the next day. But that first night we were sitting around and out there in front of the shop. And,
Okay.
we kept seeing flashes of light, and he said that they show up over here at Hollins
Yes.
too sometimes. Some kind of.
What
And we
about
were
some-
seeing them. He said they weren't quite as bright as what he saw over here before, but we don't know what was causing them. And You know,
Well,
every
they
now and
had-
then you catch a shadow or something, a movement, but I don't know. The wind was blowing, so. But the creepy thing that happened, we were sitting there, and right when all this was going on, his shop door was open, had all the lights out, and his leaf blower turned on by itself. And I turned around and said a word or two. I said, "What's going on? What
Yeah.
What in the world is that?" And he went in there, looked around, didn't see nothing, turned lights on. And he said, "That sounded like my leaf blower." And he went over there and he hit it. A sucker came on. That's exactly what it was, and exact direction it came from.
Wow.
And his battery, it's off the battery,
That is strange, right?
It wasn't plugged up in no kind of charger or nothing, just laying there on the floor.
That is strange.
I hadn't seen, I hadn't seen nothing quite like that before.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, just
That
kind
is
of strange.
Well,
I don't know, some type of energy.
That area has got some history of paranormal too. There, there was it's an old community. Way back yonder, it had a post office, several churches. It was always a farming community, and before then, there was a Creek Indian village there in that neck of the woods. Nobody knows exactly where it's at.
Is that the Khatchee? Is that where that comes from? The name? I figured so. It had to be.
Yeah. There's a creek there too named Khatchee. And the other name for that place is Cahobble. Cohobble. That's Cahobble.
Okay.
Which is a Creek Indian name. And I forgot what it means.
I haven't heard of that one.
Next time, well, Khatchee is mentioned in Creek names.
Mm-hmm.
If you go look at towns and communities in Alabama named, it's listed. And I don't forgot what it means. But it did say there was a small village located in the area somewhere at one time. In fact, there's something one day I need to show you down there. It's on private property, and we probably couldn't get on the property. I swear it's a big old mound.
Mm-hmm.
That sucker's too perfect looking. I mean, the shape. And I might get permission to get on. I know the people who own the land, they might let me go in there and walk around it. But when you come from a certain road, and when you go, I said, man, it can't be a hill shaped that perfect. I mean, it's almost like a pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And I've hunted around it because I used to coon hunt, but back then I didn't pay stuff as much attention. When you're younger, you don't pay as much. And then over time, I keep looking at that. I said, man, that's just an odd looking hill.
Yeah.
And I mean, it may be natural, but it's just odd. And where it's located, it's two creeks come in together. And that's kind of, I'm like, I'm like, well, that's kind of odd there.
It definitely could be something.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of artifacts have been found all down in there. People from years plowing their fields, there's a lot of artifacts have been found. And and being right there close to the river too. I mean, it's within a few miles of the river. So, I mean, that's a given.
I need to get over there to that museum. Somebody was telling me about it. Who was telling me last night? It was Patrick.
About the Comer
was telling
Museum
me
there in
about the
town?
museum, yeah.
Y'all ride up there tomorrow if you get a chance.
Yeah, I need to.
I think they're open from 10 to, and they have actual archaeologists working there now.
That's what Patrick said.
And he's been involved in some digs and stuff.
Yeah, he was telling me a little bit about that. And I said, I need to check that out.
And you'll see they got a lot of pictures of when they went out to the High Tower Farm, where that village was located. And the University of Alabama done a lot of digs back there in the late 70s, early 80s.
You said High Tower?
High Tower Farm. Yeah.
That name rings a bell.
That's where the village, sister village to Coosa, starts with an A. Bucat, how do you pronounce that? I'm not good.
Becca or Albicca?
Albicca, I think.
Albicca, yeah. There's Albicca.
Yeah, I think that's where it was. It was the sister village
Yeah.
to Coosa.
That's an Albicca in Oklahoma, too. You know.
Well, me and the archaeologist that day was talking about it, and there's a big controversy about where Coosa was. Some people say it was right north of Rome, Georgia, where the Etowah and I had to get Rebecca O'Hare to pronounce that other creek's name, river, where they join and make the Coosa. Well, there's a lot of people say, well, Coosa was located in Rome, and that's where the soda stopped. But then you have other people say, no, it was Childersburg. Both places have produced Spanish stuff. Me and the archaeologist told me, I said, why couldn't there have been two Coosas? He said, because they done that a lot. He said, that was possible. He said, you could have had an upper Coosa and a lower Coosa.
Exactly.
And he said, you had the lower kingdom, upper kingdom. He said, so they may have stopped at both.
Exactly right. And you know, Cheehaw, you're really familiar with Cheehaw,
Yeah.
You know, close as you are. That some of my ancestors came from up there with there's a group of Natchez.
That's right. They're the ones that
Chief Chinnaby.
Chief Chinnaby.
And
you know, his grave right up on the side of the road.
yeah, I've seen that.
That's cool.
I have seen that. And yeah, there was the Manak family, the very first Manak. And there's Manaks all over now, here and in Oklahoma. But the very first Manak came in with that group of Natchez that came
right.
Up
Because they were part of the Creek Confederation. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. That's why a lot of people don't realize the Creek Confederation was a bunch of little tribes that all formed a confederation, and they got the name Creek because they lived around creeks. So the white settlers just started, but you know, I mean, you had the Alabamians, you had the Coosas, you had the Natchez,
the Cashadas,
yeah,
Coolsadis.
Yeah. So you had all kind of different, and then the Cherokee, I mean the Choctaw and Chickasaw is in the same group, you know, and
same language group.
Same language
with,
group.
Muskogee.
Yeah. So
Muskogee. And I didn't know till I was probably about 10 years ago now. I was going around with my cousin. You know, I always ask prayer for my cousin Steve Travis. He's really had a lot of health problems, health issues. But he knows a lot about the locations of the original tribal towns.
That's cool. That's cool.
And he's taught me a lot. You know, I have to give him full credit. There's a lot of what I've learned from him through the years.
Right.
You know, we go out and go see, you know, or as close as we could get to some of these places.
Right.
We were out and about down there on Tuckabachie, in that area. If you go over, it might be in Macon County. I'm not sure if it's Macon or Tallapoosa County. I want to say it's in Macon County. We were looking around in there, and there's a Cheehaw down there.
Wow.
A little community of Cheehaw down there. And I never had heard of it, you know. One, you know, the only Cheehaw I knew of was the one up in Talladega County. So that kind of goes with what you're talking about with the Coosa, you know, because they did move and would split off, or you know, and have you know, they'd keep the name of the town name, you know,
and they could have left one place because of disease, or got where the land wasn't fertile, or because of you know, other tribes or the white settlers coming in aggravating them, and they say, hey, we're going to pack up and get on down the road, you know. But that's what they've done a lot of times, you know. They pack up and leave, or go to new hunting grounds too, you know, where the game was more plentiful, so
you know, they definitely had that pressure, you know, as more and more people were trying to move in on them, you know, they definitely had to do some, you know, contracting there and, you know, moving about.
Right. I don't know where. Must have been somebody down yonder on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I left here this morning about 2:30, and I was about halfway out, and I had my windows cracked, and I heard something scream when I was on my way out. Now it could very well have been a fox or something like that.
Right.
Kind of sound like a kid scream.
Hmm.
But I've heard some other people said they'd heard some stuff too.
Well, you know, these
Last
two
few
creeks
nights.
right here form Little Hatchet.
Yeah, well, I knew there was a little hatchet. I wasn't exactly sure
Well,
where it was
this
located.
branch down this hill and that branch over this hill.
Mm-hmm.
They meet across the road and form Little Hatchet. And they run into Big Hatchet 4 miles from here.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Hatchet ain't far from here.
Yeah.
Now it ain't like down where y'all were at today. It's a lot smaller.
Right.
But I used to hunt in there a lot, and that's when you get to look at some of the wild hatchet. You know what? They ain't nobody built nothing on or messed with. It's beautiful.
I come across something that you probably would be interested in. I hadn't had a chance. I've been meaning to message you, but I don't really have a lot to go off of with it. But I'm trying to be sure before I really, say
something. Yeah.
Come from this place. But I come across a picture. I was just going through old pictures the other day, and I come across a picture probably around 2017, somewhere along in there. And the picture I come across, I was going back through some messages with a cousin of mine that she's passed on, but we were really close. And they down in Lowndes County, they did a archaeological study there, trying to pinpoint the exact location of holy ground.
Right.
They have the park there,
Right,
where they
right,
have the marker and all
right.
that. I'm sure you've seen.
I've been there.
Yeah. And but that's not the exact location where they had the village. And but they located it when they did that dig. Well, my cousin got to go. They had kind of like took a bus load in of interested people or certain ones, that want to see it.
Right.
Took a bunch of pictures. Well, I have an enlargement of a picture, and I don't know what it is. It's definitely a face, but all I have is the enlargement, and I've tried to find the originals. Look through all our messages back and forth, because I remember us talking about it. And, she had several pictures, but I've even had another cousin trying to find it. And she said, yeah, I was there too. I was with her when she took the pictures. We were both there. And so I think she has found the pictures. So I've got to go through them and look at them.
Okay, cool.
And see if one of them matches up. If one of them matches up from the original that's not enlarged, then, I have a little bit more to go off of.
Okay, good.
And saying that.
Well,
it's definitely a face. And the more I think about it, I'm almost positive that she took that there in Lowndes County. I'm almost positive. I don't think I took the picture.
Lowndes County is a rich county.
It is.
It's rich in Native American history and white settler history. It was a big cotton farming area at one time, and then when I met Mr. Talbanco, I just didn't realize how many sightings were there.
Right.
And how much the people in the area knew about it. And of course, there's a large black community there now.
Mm-hmm.
And they know about it. And he talked to a lot of them people, and they said, yeah, they say they're everywhere in here.
That little community there close to it, I think it's called Whitehall.
Whitehall, yeah. Yeah.
It's right there pretty close to it.
Yeah, see it. And then you got Benton not far away, and then Lounsboro on the other side. And it's a lot of swampy land. Of course, that land belonged to Lady Bird Johnson's family for years, and then they sold it to the state of Alabama back in the early 90s, and they turned it into a wildlife management area. But you can tell there's a lot of history there. And that's where that magazine article came in the Alabama Game and Fish came from, where it was called Stalked in Dallas County. That's where the guy, that hunting club, sort of like Creepy Mountain, But them down there are a little more aggressive. They
Found
like
out the hard way, huh?
Yeah, I think them down there like to chase people. But
Yeah.
but he put that,
That's funny how some of them,
some areas they docile, and other areas they don't want you around.
Yeah.
And so
I think it's probably got a lot to do with what the experiences they've gone through with people.
that guy got a very good eyewitness account. If you ever get a chance, just go in and type in on the internet "stalked" in Dallas County, 1993, Alabama Game and Fish magazine, and it should pull the article up. And it's a very good article. But Mr. Towle went on in deeper with it. He went and interviewed the guy, but other hunting club members, and he found out it just wasn't a one-time occurrence. This was multiple occurrences, and then finding out everybody that lived in the community, they here. We see them all the time out in the cow pastures, out in the cotton fields, and so that got to be a common thing for those folks in that neck of the woods, and of course, if everybody would just come out and really talk about their experiences, we'd probably come to find out that a bunch of people have seen them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a cousin, second cousin, used to live right next door to me, and he was working in about 20 miles away in a town. One night on his way to work, he had one cross the road in front of him. He turned around and went back and put his spotlight beamed on it. And it was still standing there in the edge of the wood line, so he got a good look at it.
Right.
And the whole time, it happened when he was living next door to me, but I never knew about it.
Right.
Never,
just didn't talk about
it.
Right?
Just recently, something come up or something.
Right.
And I messaged him and asked him about it. He told me, he told me what happened.
Right.
But that's been years ago. A lot of people don't.
They don't talk. Well, I mean, just like later on, I found out that some of my members, my family, had some stuff happen. They just didn't talk about it. And then when I really got to talking about it and going and looking at people's property, some of my family members, I guess, figured out, well, he's serious. So they come out and went to talking about stuff, and come to find out, I mean, this went on back a while. And it makes you wonder sometimes how these connections come in. I know a lot of people think bloodlines. I know a lot of people think Native American. A lot of people think different things. But I don't really know where that connection is.
Yeah. I don't think any of us do. I don't think anybody really does.
And it could be a bunch of connections.
It could be.
It could be more than just one. So
absolutely.
But anytime people live out in the country and they're farming or hunting and fishing and trapping, they're going to come across stuff more. When you're out in the woods a lot more, you're out in the fields, and your chances go up higher of experiencing something, than living in downtown somewhere or something. But them things use town too. People don't think it, but them some gonna go right up. I mean, Sylacauga, they've been in downtown Sylacauga before.
I don't doubt it. There's an older BFR report of a sighting that happened in Bruton, Alabama, which is just right up the road from me.
Right.
That it was in town. It was a young teenager at the time, riding a bike on a trail headed to a store, and it was like a little cut through section of wooded area.
Right.
And he was coming back down that trail, and was one right there in the middle of the trail.
Right.
He fell off his bike, scared him to death, and I think pretty much people he told picked on him and ridiculed him about that for quite a while.
I want to say,
because the store had a dumpster right behind it, where they
them dumpsters, buddy.
I think it was a grocery store, so they steady dumping food and stuff, they have to throw out.
that one that was seen in downtown Chicago was right there at Jack's restaurant. There's a creek. The old Jack's restaurant in Chicago used to be in downtown, and there's a creek, and the creek is real deep. And what I mean deep, it's way down. It's about 10 foot because over years of erosion.
Yeah, some kind of bluff like.
Yeah, and that booger was in that creek, and he was right there at Jack's. Now, of course, the guy that seen him said he could, as he was approaching, because he's walking on sidewalk. This is right across from where Walmart is, or back then it wasn't Walmart, it was called something else before it became Walmart, but it was the little busy area of Chicago, which it was about midnight on Saturday night. But as he approached that area, he could hear rocks in the creek hitting each other. Now I figured the booger was probably looking for crawfish, maybe waiting on the restaurant to close, because back then some of the restaurants stayed open 11, 12 on Saturday night. The booger was probably waiting on the employees to leave where he could go get in the dumpster. And it's right there at the hospital, houses. But see, he could walk that whole creek and never be seen by nobody at nighttime, and go right back out into the edges of Chicago during the daytime, lay up in some of them woods there, and then night come right back in there, you know. And then Kumbo said that was happening down at Troy. I think they were coming to a Wendy's or a McDonald's right there in Troy.
Surprised me.
Yeah.
I lived in Troy for a little while. Went to school there for a little bit.
If you ever meet Kumbo, ask him about when he was working there at Troy about I won't say it's either McDonald's or Wendy's. Some of the employees were seeing them get in the dumpster. They got where the employee, I think, and Troy is here somewhere. He could tell you.
Yeah, I talked to Troy last night a little bit.
Yeah, he could tell you. But I think they were waiting on the employees to get ready to get off, and then they'd be sitting there waiting. I mean, just like the cow sitting waiting for you to bring them feed, you know.
They knew what time they closed down.
Yeah. Well, they pattern. It's just like animals do.
Yeah.
I mean, the deer pattern us, cows pattern us. They get to knowing our routines, and
that's why they watch us.
That's it. That's it. They learn the stuff.
They know about what we're gonna do when we're gonna do it.
Right.
Sometimes before we do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, one night I want to get you back on, and we go through anything you want to talk about. We can talk about Native American. We can talk about boogers. We can talk about history. Whatever you want to go through, I'll have you on. I bet I hadn't forgot about it. You know,
Anytime.
Which I knew you was busy trying to finish up schooling, and
I'm pretty much wide open.
So maybe one night we can I can get you on, and whatever you want to talk about or present, or you just think about it.
If y'all make it down for the powwow again this year, y'all come down there and do a live down there, or at least do some video or something. I feel like they probably would be okay with that, you know.
Okay.
I could check for you,
get permission.
Just be sure, everything is cool. And
well, you can just tell them too, I don't make money off my YouTube.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I know people videos there all the time. There's so many people that come in to watch, and they got a lot of
I'd love to do that, and then
it'll be interesting, for people that, maybe never been to one or have seen any of that,
right.
Kind of see a little bit of what goes on. And
we had a group of Cherokees. A lot of them, I mean, they weren't full blooded. They, half white, half Cherokee that used to put on a powwow here in Talladega County, right up here at Winterboro. I used to go up there a good bit because that's what more of my heritage is the Cherokee and Lumbee. And I was fortunate to find out, my great grandmother was out of the Bear Clan, which I know the Cherokee do not claim the Bear Clan no more. I don't know why they quit claiming the Bear Clan, but
I don't know. I know they have the bear dance. It's one of the dances they do.
Well, they don't. What I understand now is the Cherokee don't recognize the Bear Clan anymore. The Bear Clan used to be like a sub clan. I forgot who they were in with, but they were considered a sub clan. But they were the clan that had the warriors, the clan that took other people in from other tribes, and then And there was so a lot of times they said the Bear Clan was more of a mixture of a lot of other tribes. You know, when I went to really read into the history of the Bear Clan, and but she definitely told you know, my mom, my grandma, and all them what she, you know, what clan she knew what she was out of. You know, so that's good to know that history. So I've done a good bit of research reading Bear Clan. And, you know, come to find out, it's an Iroquois kind of clan. You know, so that's pretty. You know, they done fired up the mic down there.
We didn't have a microphone last night.
Mr. Dale must be fixing to start singing some songs. Guess we need to
Probably
get ready to get off here. I guess, don't we? We done been on here a while. Oh yeah, we almost been on here 2 hours now.
We can sit here and talk.
Oh yeah, we could go for an hour. I could talk. Me and you could talk all night about it. I just love to talk to people that got a lot of history too, and because I love to compare history, not to.
Well, you really need to know. I mean, the more you learn about history and things,
yeah,
you know,
you find
even
out.
though I've not personally, you know, I've had encounters and I've heard things and smelled things and been growled at, you know, at a close distance and things like that. That I'm, you know, 95% sure now that it was probably boogers.
Yeah.
But as far as, you know, seeing one, you know, I know it's rare even to see one, but to see one, some people have seen them, you know, for a few seconds. You know, I've caught just flashes and just, you know, shadows and stuff like that. That, you know, there's no telling, you know.
Well,
but I do think though, you know, that studying the history of a place, you know, wherever you're at, knowing what all went on there throughout history and all, the more you can learn about that, it can give you some insight. And, you know, some people think, you know, there's a strong connection with Native Americans. And
yeah.
I do know that at one time in the past, you know, things were different. And I think that probably everybody was aware of everybody, and it wasn't like it is now, you know, where, and I think that they knew very well about them, or they had different names for them, whether they call them forest people or, you know, whatever, you know. And in the Creek tribe, we call them Estijaku, which is tall man. Is basically it's tall man.
Right.
But it's all kind of names and all different tribes. But they were well aware of
what it was. Oh yeah, that's where
each other, and I think they had a mutual respect for the most part. You know,
right.
You hear some accounts where
certain
some
areas,
bad blood and problems.
Well, that's just in nature.
But I think if you look at that in comparison to humans against humans, it probably falls a lot shorter.
Shorter, yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Humans are known for killing each other over nothing.
Yep.
Been doing it pretty much since after Adam and Eve sinned in the garden. It pretty much started.
Ever since the fall.
Yep. Started when Cain killed Abel.
Yep.
That's there. And then when there was Nephilim were born and started being on the earth, and yeah.
So how did the Nephilim appear after the flood? Because it clearly says that there were giants on the earth in those days and after.
The more fallen angels could have come down.
There's a lot of different theories I've heard, and
they say they may have been what you call ocean type Nephilim in the ocean, because all the stuff in the sea, all of it didn't die in the sea. Some of it did, but all of it did. Some people have that maybe one of the daughter-in-laws may have had some, because you notice after the flood they weren't called Nephilim no more. They were called Rephilim, or what was the other name? And I don't think they were quite as big.
A little bit different.
Yeah. You know, that's where the Canaanites come in, the Hittites, the Amorites, all those according to the Bible, had the
I done heard tons of those type stories.
whatever you want to call it.
They had that seed.
They had that seed in them.
The DNA.
Yeah, the DNA of that. They still
Adam,
say that.
I mean, Noah's son,
Ham.
Ham.
Well, Ham did
Well,
have
came
Nimrod and
Right.
the next Enoch, and both of them were known to be evil, and didn't follow the ways of the Lord. Then a lot of people think that Jacob's brother Esau may have been started of the Bigfoot. I mean, it's hard to say, but now see, Esau, what I understand, married into Nephilim blood. His wife had. I've heard several scholars say now that about 15-20% of the earth got Nephilim blood in them right now. And of course, we know some of them groups. I'm not going to say that on tape, but I think you know some of them too, who they are. But now they don't keep us from redemption, though. Right. But that's a big, broad area. You have to be careful with it because you don't want to lead nobody astray. You know, you want to stay biblical with it. But there's a lot more in that Bible than we realize. You just got to figure out how to understand it. And those people during that time that were writing the Bible, they were writing it from a Middle Easterners. It wasn't wrote for us, even though it is relevant for us today.
Yeah, you have to understand the context of that day and time and the culture and what was going on at that point.
Well, it's just like in the United States history. It was 200 years ago. The United States is completely different than it is now. Right. You know, so I mean, over time, everything keeps changing. And they done fired up the guitar over there now. They got some singing going on. Well, we'll do.
That reminds me of the powwow now.
Yeah. We'll get together again and do a show. I'll have you on one night. We'll get down in some deep subjects.
Sounds great.
Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
I am going to do a show one day on Nephilim, but I'm going to wait a while before I dig off into that deeper. We'll have friend David Hughes on when I do that because he's done a lot of study on that. So he grew up in the Catholic Church, so a lot more of that is known about. Because in the Protestant church, that ain't preached much, you know. So
actually, at my church, my pastor's been preaching out of Genesis. For the past few months.
Right.
And he's been going all through that, through the Nephilim and all that. Yeah. It's been really, really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Really interesting. He's done a really good job of it too. You know, kind of explain it. You know, things a lot of people don't ever really even talk about. You know, certain parts of the Bible, people just kind of, you know. Well, Goliath, everybody knows Goliath was a giant, you know.
Yeah, him and his 4 brothers, And them 5 stones that David picked up wasn't for Goliath, all of them. It was for them 5 brothers. So, you know, a lot of people say, why did he pick up 5 stones?
I wonder if that's why boogers throw rocks.
Maybe. We don't know. You know, he talked about the lion-headed men helped him fight against Philistines. So,
that's right.
You know, where the lion-headed men come in. I mean, you know, I don't know.
I don't know if I want to say one. But...
Yeah, I know what you mean. What is it, babe?
We come and interrupt you.
Oh, okay. You're going to interrupt us a minute. I know we've been on about 2 hours.
And hello to everybody, too. Anybody that's not here, wish you were here.
We got Miss Donna standing behind Mr. Ken here.
Hey, everybody. Good to see y'all.
Glad y'all got to come down, you and Sherry and Mr. Jim this week.
Well, we're glad to be here. We've had a blast. It's been awesome.
You've had some stuff happen too.
Yes, sir, we have.
Been a little hot last couple of days though, hasn't it?
Yes.
Getting some
the
taste of
humidity
Alabama
got to-
weather.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it's about like that in Tennessee though most of the time.
Yeah,
ain't
our weather's pretty close to
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
And plus, y'all right there at the river, so your humidity's gonna be higher too.
Yes,
there.
sir. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We found a few things and
had
heard a
some
few things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been interesting.
Yeah, I heard y'all. And ticks.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's that time.
Ticks by the glory.
We had a good time last night too, singing.
Oh, yeah.
After we left.
Yeah, I heard y'all went to what, about 3 a.m.
It was pretty late.
It was kind of late, yeah, but
Y'all was having fun.
Sherry and Donna, they put on good entertainment for us.
I heard that you
Thank
sung.
Brother Billy.
And see, y'all ain't sang for
I
me yet.
don't normally sing, but
I
when
said
Sherry
it's
looks
always
at
when I
me,
leave.
when Sherry looks at me and says, "You're singing," I'm like, "Yes, ma'am."
That's how you do it.
Easy, baby. My
Exactly.
cheers on the rocky.
I know. I just
It's
hit the
on
thing
the rocky.
with my knee.
Hey, if you don't care, I'm gonna go ahead and holler at the family.
Yeah, you
And
go ahead,
White
Donna. You
Pine,
go ahead.
Jennifer, and Daryl, and Walker, and Aubrey, and Delilah. I love to miss y'all. We're gonna be coming home tomorrow.
Well, we hate to see y'all leave, but I know you're ready to get home and see your family.
Oh yeah, I gotta check them out.
I
Make
know.
sure they're all right.
Sure. Well, I'm glad y'all had a good trip down, and the weather's been fairly decent.
I told them we might swing through in October.
Definitely.
But we need to when we go to Virginia. We need
Yeah.
to go through there because actually to go to Spencer's, we'll be kind of through that way. Babe, here you go. Rock me.
You gonna rock
I'm
me
in a
back?
hole.
You're
trying to
good.
tell you. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're not going nowhere.
I'm in a hole. I
You'll hold
find
Hey,
that chair
I got
down.
a bad shoulder, but I guarantee you, I would still try to catch you. Okay?
I catch you first, unfortunately.
I found it out the hard way. While ago, I
Just
moved
moved.
and this thing went. I was like,
Yonder.
whoa, yeah.
I would try to keep him off of me. I promise. I would try.
I don't want to hit the ground rolling
You
tonight.
wouldn't hit the ground. You'd hit me.
Well, let's don't hit you.
I appreciate
Okay,
that.
I'd rather hit the ground than hit you. Okay.
But all kidding aside, I tell you, the fellowship, people around here, our family and stuff, that's been the best part of it. Whether there's a booger, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call it out there, this is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Just socializing with our family.
That's it.
And I got new family now.
That's right.
Right.
I met Sherry and Donna last night. It was love at first sight.
That's right.
Of course, I already knew them from seeing them on programs and stuff, so I had the advantage because I already, knew them and a little bit of their personality, and they're just themselves.
Down home country.
Just the thing.
They just live a little
But,
piece
yeah.
of higher than we do. That's it.
That's
North.
right. But we're still south.
Oh, I know you are.
You're still
You
in
know,
the
That's right.
yeah, you still Southerners. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Unlike Spencer.
Y'all just up there in the Tennessee
There you
Valley
go.
part.
That's what it was talking about. The what?
Y'all just in the Tennessee Valley part.
That's right. Exactly. Yes,
And
sir.
we're in the Coosa Valley
But
part.
we got the you-alls and the yuns and
Yeah.
ain't and isn't. No, we don't say isn't. We say ain't.
Well, we say ain't down here too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they.
Although your teachers tell you not to.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't a word.
Well, I grew up with some cousins and aunts that were English teachers. I caught the devil when I was a teenager
Oh, I can imagine.
around them.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 of them was English teachers, and they would give me fits when I'd go to talk. Why you got to talk so country? I said, what are you talking about? You do too. And they said, well, but we use correct words.
Proper pronouns and things. Oh,
I
yeah.
never got told I was country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're country. We're proud of it.
then one of my uncles, leave the boy alone. Let him talk like he wants to talk.
Exactly.
He said he ain't trying to impress nobody. Leave him alone.
I'm Jennifer and them, they'll get on to me and Daryl because we'll say Morristown. Because that's what we always grew up as, Morristown.
Yeah.
And she'll say, it's not Morristown, it's Morristown, Mama. I said, I don't care. That's what we always said it is.
Right.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking that too. Are you saying Morristown?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Okay.
Well, I'm going to get off from here. Love y'all.
Well, we're gonna get off
And we've
here
been
too.
glad to be here.
See you in a little
Yeah,
bit.
they starting up
Yes, sir.
karaoke, so I thought I'd get this done on here real quick.
Okay. I'm
So,
glad. Is anybody else
Thank
over there
you.
want to come over real quick? Or
That's the man with the plan standing right there.
make sure. Come on, sister.
just ask if anybody wants to, because I'm fixing to sign off in just a minute.
You done been on?
Yeah, Gary's done been here.
That's the man with the plan right there.
Is him- that thunder. Like it won't get closer.
Thunder and lightning.
Yeah, maybe it won't. I have to look at my radar here in just a minute. See what we got. I'll give it
Come
just a
over here
minute.
so I can hear this.
Oh yeah, we're just about through, Mr. Gary. Glad everybody that made in chat tonight, and good to see everybody, and hope everybody has a good weekend. I need to do the prayer here in just a second. I don't think I brought my list with me, so we'll just pray for everybody in general. But if anybody's got prayer requests, go ahead, Gary.
Very sick.
Who?
Lanita Bryant.
Oh, Miss Lanita Bryant. Okay.
She's very sick. She can't even make the conference.
Not gonna make. Okay. Y'all remember Miss Lanita? Y'all seen her in the chat a lot. She lives up here in Anniston, Alabama. She comes to our chat a good bit. So, anybody else? Okay. All right.
Karaoke's going now, so
Oh yeah. So
everybody's glued.
well, we'll let me do the prayer and we'll get off here real quick. And anything you want to say, babe? Real quick.
Hey, everybody.
Rebecca just deserted me tonight, didn't she?
She did. She did.
Now I've enjoyed having everybody that wanted to come speak, and this is what it's about. Just having fun and having a talk.
If you ever come to the South, bring your bug spray.
Pretty much. Probably up north too. Their bugs, I heard, are just as bad as ours at certain times of the year. So
They are in Oklahoma.
yeah.
Yeah, but ours is that way all year.
So is ours.
Yeah. You're not up north.
I'm 3 degrees farther north than you.
3 degrees. Yeah.
Okay,
That don't
Tammy.
count as north.
Well, remember your nephew's wife, Chrissy. Yeah, I sure remember that.
Video the karaoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we do. I got the phone over.
Yeah. I'm sure some
Hey,
people
Miss
will be
Burton.
posting some stuff to Facebook.
Hey,
because
Miss
there's a
Burton.
lot of
Good to
people
see
over there with phones. So y'all be
Saw
watching
Miss Furby
Facebook.
last night.
Yeah, there she is now.
That's
Hope-
another good person right there.
Hope she gets come back.
Yes, she
tomorrow night. I
is.
hope she does. Maybe the weather will hold out for her. I'm gonna give everybody just a minute. If anybody want to put more prayer requests in. So, I know there's a lot of people I need to mention tonight. I'm not going to try to remember everybody right offhand. Y'all forgive me for not remembering everybody, but we just sometimes I forgot to bring everything, and in the last few weeks I ain't really got to catch up on everybody, but y'all just pray for everybody in the community, our country. Lord have mercy, our country. Yeah, worst thing I ever seen in my life here lately. But I thought it was bad. But
Hillary Verby is Miss B. Miss B.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a
Hey,
question.
Stevie B.
I need to just get on back
I
out of
seen
here.
Moggs a while ago too. So and hey, Cryptid Huntress sitting over there about 50 feet away.
Right.
And Phyllis and Gary 5 feet away. So, that's pretty cool to have that going on. Y'all know anybody else we need to pray for?
Saturdays.
Yeah, the Saturdays. Yeah. I can't remember everybody right now.
Saturdays.
But, well, we'll say a prayer and we'll close for tonight.
Barton and Letitia.
Yeah, Barton and Letitia. Yeah, that's right.
Martin Groves.
Mr. Martin Groves, that's correct. Y'all be in prayer, and there's a lot more people I know
There's
that
a
need
lot
prayer.
more, yeah.
Well, we'll say a short prayer and we'll get off here and go enjoy some karaoke and fellowship for a little while.
Tennessee Cherokee.
Yes, sir. He's not doing. I'm glad you
Oh,
told
yeah,
me that.
Tennessee
Yeah, he's
Cherokee.
not
He just
feeling
put it
too
in
well. Yeah, we'll be praying for you, Mr. Brian. You and Jeffy, and I know there's a lot more.
How's River doing? I'd heard he was having some trouble again, but
I hadn't seen River here. I hadn't heard that.
And
Hadn't heard
Robin.
since I've been down here.
And Miss Robin.
Miss Robin with the dental work
Okay.
she posted about the pain starting.
All right, y'all, everybody remember Miss Robin and Miss River, and I know there's a lot more.
remember Kathy.
Kathy, of
Beasley.
course, yeah.
Mhm.
Kathy and David.
What
Yeah.
was that?
That's my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I didn't
Easter.
know what it was
I
myself.
thought it was
man.
Easter, and I was like,
it
what in the
was.
world?
No. Well,
Easter don't make them noises
that's right.
unless there's a problem.
Let's see. Well, we'll go ahead and do the prayer and we'll get off here. All right. Lord, thank you for letting us be able to do stuff like this. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for loving us, showing us mercy, being patient with us, not wanting any of us to perish. Thank you, Lord, for sending your son for what he went and done for us on that cross that day and shed his blood for our sins. Lord, we pray for everybody that's been mentioned and the ones we hadn't mentioned, but you know who they all are, Lord. You know what problems they got going on and whatever it may be, Lord, health, finances, drama, jobs, family, whatever they're having problems in, Lord. If it be thy will, heal them, give them guidance how to get through this, Lord. Lord, be with us the rest of this weekend as we hang out here at the campground and folks go up to the conference and people travel home this weekend. And Lord, if you be thy will, keep this weather calm on us. Bless us all in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen. All right, anybody want to say anything else?
What's scripted say there? I
left my brain. And y'all pray for Crystal too. She's been hope that shoulder gets to doing better. And congratulations to Miss DD on retiring. Yep, I look forward to that myself here in a few years too. Hey Abby, good to see you in here tonight. Hope you and Wanda and your dad get to come, or your mom and your dad get to come. I said Wanda. Your mama and your daddy get to come tomorrow night. So all right, y'all, just remember, be kind, get along. Try your best to get along with folks. Love one another best you can. Check on each other. I know we all get busy in life, but try, if you get a chance, if nothing, just send a text to somebody. Just say, I'm thinking about you. So, we love y'all and hope y'all enjoyed the live. And we'll see y'all next week, won't we? Well, you will. I'll be at work.
That's right.
Night, so. And
started new meds, so hopefully I won't have no more migraines on Fridays.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
Hope that works good for you.
Yeah, I do too. Last weekend she had a time with them last weekend.
Oh, it was awful.
All right, y'all. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. And hopefully, maybe I can do some video tomorrow. Maybe we'll see. We'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Bye bye.
Love to everybody.